All right, Chelsea fans, we're back with the Man City match review. That's right, full pod is live, but hey, we got to break it down on YouTube as well. So we're going to be talking about best players, worst players, how it all went, Graham Potter's future. Why are we talking about Potter's future? We'll be right back. All right, so obviously we played Man City away in the EFL Cup last night. It was the first round. Chelsea were in it, and we are quickly out of it. I think initial reactions, we got the draw, Man City away. I think we all kind of immediately threw away the EFL Cup expectations. New manager, some different things been going on. It just didn't seem like the most important thing at the time. It ended up being a pretty good match, all things said, with the amount of injuries that we have to our best players, with the fact that Chelsea's been playing 2 matches every single week for months now. International breaks have not helped. I think we had a good showing for ourselves. And there's some obviously bright lights within this one. There's still some lights that need to be brightened from a few players, but in a few days, it's not going to matter because the majority of our squad is either going to be, I believe, in Doha with a warm weather camp, as Matt Law tweeted out. I can confirm that here in a second. Or they're going to be in the World Cup with a lot of their teams. So, like I said, it's really, to me, not the, oh my gosh, the world is ending, let's break. Break the system, rip it up, throw it over. Sorry, they're going to Abu Dhabi in December for training. And so I'm not too bothered by this. Maybe, it's because I've been watching for a while. And I just think that, there's ups and downs to the season. At the end of the day, the EFL Cup is not the most important thing in the middle of a rebuild this season. And so I'm just trying to keep that perspective there. And at the end of the day, we showed well against City. If you kind of look through some of the stats that we have here in this match, the XG, I think Chelsea won, depending on which one you look at. If we go here to the Chelsea FC website, I think they had it at 1.7 to 1.7. And that's kind of how we look at it. So a couple of the top line stuff here, right, from Chelsea saying XG is 1.7 to 1.7. I think in the pod we said it was like 1.9 to 1.7. Chelsea had the edge. It doesn't really matter how you split it. The fact was we were toe-to-toe with City. Obviously, Lewis Hall, 18-year-old, jumping in at left wing back on the night, covered himself in glory. Definitely didn't do himself any disservices. Looked great, as you can see, as a left wing back. 2 touches in the box, 2 right outside, and then up and down the wing is where he spent his day, literally box to box. And he looks so comfortable, so natural. I think, Lewis is definitely the big bright light that all the Chelsea fans are taking from this. And, to be fair, it's one of those things that a lot of you know that we hang out with Chelsea youth, right? Like we get to do podcasts with him. We try to follow the youth team as best we can. It is tough at sometimes, but it just reminds you that, he knows his stuff. And so here's the tweet that Phil had. So the original tweet was from January 7th of 2022, and he obviously retweeted it today. So this is on a podcast he and I did. He says about the academy players, quote, "They may not score a hat trick or be man of the match immediately, but they also won't let you down. There's a baseline level of talent at Cobham. That means when your number's called, you have the ability to do the job that's asked of you." I tell you what, this one aged pretty well, Phil. Credit to him. If you are not aware of at Chelsea Youth, you are crazy. There's over 250,000 people following him. He knows his shit when it comes to the youth, and he watches them in person week in, week out. So again, he was not surprised. We were WhatsApping about this, that Lewis Hall did as well as he did. I think him and I were both disappointed that Amari Hutchinson didn't get time, especially with the subs that were brought in late in the match. But positive, bright light. Look, Chilwell's out for a while. Lewis Hall, it seems like he could give us a lot of depth at left center back, left wing back. He's been playing center mid for the dev squad. I think he has 4 goals, 3 assists. He's only behind Amari Hutchinson goals and assists this season. So he's a quality player. He didn't seem phased today. He was playing Manchester City at Manchester City. This is a big deal. It's not like last season he was playing the League One team or whatever it was. Like this is a big deal, and he looked good. So again, silver linings. Want to see more of him. I just obviously put the video out about youth. Hey Potter, you got some gems in there. Go ahead and knock it out. Cucurella also had a good game, which is good to see because he's struggled a little bit lately. He's still adjusting, still trying to find his feet under the team. But a key pass is great. 8 duels won is a ton. 6 tackles is great. Shout out to Kovacic, who made his 200th appearance for the club. Big milestone. Big milestone. Remember, he came in as a loan player that we made permanent. Just to give you perspective, he's 200, Conte's 262, Jorginho's 206. So hopefully he can continue to rack up that tally. And then just some of the top line stats. And this is where, there's the eye test and there's the numbers test. The eye test, I still think a lot of people say Chelsea did enough to at least draw. There's no reason that Chelsea shouldn't have been level on points. When you look at this and the numbers test, pretty similar feelings, right? 15 shots, 5 on target. They had 18 shots, 9 on target. We had 45% possession, 14 tackles, 9 fouls. Pulisic coming in with the most shots. I think the frustrating thing with him is that he creates a lot. It just didn't finish. Kovacic had some good chances on the break, just couldn't find the final pass. So we'll have to see. But I mean, the fact that Pulisic had the most shots and the most chances created is a good day for him, especially when, remember, this team does not take shots and does not create chances. So at least he's doing something to kind of put the team in a position to score because the last couple matches have been bad. So anyways, obviously just a ton of Lewis Hall love in that one. I went to who scored. FBref still doesn't have much for stats out in the way, so I'm stuck with this just less than ideal rating system. But as you can see, Mendy was considered our best player, 8.1. Ortega's the only player better than him on the field, 8.2. Is definitely a night for goalkeepers. There was a lot of shots. As we said, we had 5 on target. They had 9 on target between the two. Making 12 saves. Busy day. I think Ortega really surprised a lot of Chelsea fans. I mean, we don't know him. Why would we know him as the backup to Ederson? But he had himself an absolute day. And that was frustrating, to say the least. Cucurella was 7.1, so it would have been our second best player. I think a lot of people were happy with Mendy. Kind of showed the Champions League run Mendy, where he just made a ton of saves, collected crosses. Distribution was okay, but at the end of the day, you want him to make saves, and that's exactly what he did. Koulibaly's playing center back, sweeper, not his best position probably. Bit of a rough night for him. Chalobah did fine. Again, like he has so many minutes in his legs. I'm sure he is looking for a break. Credit to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who slotted out to right wing back. Did not skip a beat. Kova looked good. Zakaria was fine. Again, Lewis Hall was excellent. I thought Pulisic was good. Broya was, good. I don't really blame him. Want to give him more minutes. And I think the lightning rod from this one is definitely Hakim Ziyech. Why did he play? Why did he start? You could have put Amari Hutchinson in. Like, he doesn't have a future at Chelsea. Like, Potter has to manage things that we have no idea what is going on behind the scenes. I predicted Ziyech getting the start. I just, for whatever reason, felt like Potter was going to lean that way. And he brought on Aspie, Gallagher, Mount, and Sterling. Again, like, I think that you probably could see that those are some very, very strong subs. Potter absolutely went for it. The fact that we gave up that second goal right after the first goal within 5 minutes, I think that that's tough here. Because the longer it stays 1-0, like, oh my gosh, great free kick, fine. Like, you can concede to class. But that second goal that we conceded was just so frustrating. The longer it's 1-0, the longer Chelsea are in it. So could have been a little bit better, but there's just all this Potter out nonsense, people wanting to bring back Tuchel. You don't have to listen to me. Look, my Twitter timeline, I was fighting the good fight last night. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. You can have your opinion. But you could also listen to Pep Guardiola, who I think is considered a better source than all of us combined. So good friend of the pod, Naz, here tweeting that Pep Guardiola praise felt sincere as Graham Potter sees progress. says Chelsea actually outperformed Man City on XG, which we've been struggling with XG. So we need to take that and run with it. FB Ref, did they have XG on this one? No, I don't think they did. But if you look at Chelsea, when you talk about XG, it's been bad lately. If we go down to our results, XG 0.3 against Arsenal. Obviously, Zagreb, I'm not really going to take that. 1.4, 1.5, 1.1, 0.9, 0.9. Again, we need to be around 2 just to kind of keep pace with the other best teams in there. So the quote was specifically, there were definite signs of encouragement. Potter gets pep talk as Chelsea show progress despite Manchester City defeat. There's a lot of love from, Pep Guardiola, which again is a great source. He's considered the best. You might as well accept the praise when it comes in and think, you know what, maybe Pep knows more than what I do. Matt Law co-signing on this tweet from David Branch says some good perspective for Chelsea fans and maybe Spurs too, but we're going to ignore that part. So David Branch tweeted out that people forget that Pep Guardiola spent $200 million in his first summer in charge and proceeded to lose 4-2 at Leicester, battered 4-0 at Everton, failed to beat Celtic home and away in Champions League, lost to Monaco in the knockout rounds, ended up trophyless and 15 points off the summit in the league. He got to build that team. And you got to think that Manchester City were buying Pep players before he even got there because they put in the former Barcelona leadership team at City in preparation for Pep. So all I'm saying is that, yeah, we splashed the cash for sure this summer, but it wasn't specifically done by Potter. He is working with some pieces that aren't necessarily his, and I think that is out there. But again, just some perspective. I think that this was not a match that was the hill we were going to die on. I don't think this match makes or breaks our season. It would have been nice, but it's not the end of the world for Chelsea losing this one. I thought we were really competitive against Arsenal, not offensively, but like defensively and midfield wise, like we made it tough on them. I pulled up the XG from that match. We limited them to nothing in terms of chances. This one in City, I thought it was much better going forward. It was bright. Both teams made a lot of rotations. We have Newcastle at the weekend, so that'll be another tough test. Is there a top 4 team as it stands? Ups and downs in the season. This was never going to make or break our season. Like, is it back-to-back losses? Sure, right? Are we in a bad form, bad run of form in the last few matches? For sure, right? Back-to-back losses, lost 3 of the last 4. But go back a little bit further to when Potter came in. You have a draw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, including Milan home and away in the Champions League. You picked up a couple draws, one being to United. Remember how that went. You beat Salzburg, which clinched qualification as the number 1 seed in the group. We were dead last when he took over on 1 point behind Zagreb and Salzburg. You lose to Brighton. That was just a bad day out. Agreed. You beat Zagreb. We lose to Arsenal, the league leaders. You lose to Man City in the EFL Cup, considered one of the best in Europe. So with that being said, we've lost 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Won 7, drawn 3, lost 3 in his first 13 matches. Not bad. Won over 50% of his matches. Like, I don't remember all of you complaining when we smashed Milan home and away. So just patience. There's up and down to the season, right? This whole bring Tuchel back nonsense. That is a dumb take. Just give Potter some time, right? He's dealing with one of the hardest seasons ever. We've never had to play this many games twice in 1 week ever before. You have a World Cup next week. He doesn't know what's going to happen with his players. A lot of it out of his control. He's going to get this season. Bully and company have a 10-year contract where they can't sell in 10 years. Bully is building for the future. Let's relax a little bit. Enjoy the process. Potter is considered one of the best up-and-coming managers He's English, so if that's important to you as a local fan, great. Does not to most of us international fans. We just want the best managers there. So, again, not make or break. This really isn't going to like bother me. You're not going to get man rants. It was a good day out. It just didn't break our way. We're missing the player with the killer edge. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, they have them. Tottenham, we don't. We're in search of them. They are hard to find. But I love to see the youth coming through and making positive impacts. Hopefully Potter will give more and more chances to these. So anyways, I'm out. If you want the full hour-long podcast, we did it. Full breakdown, link in the description below. But we'll be out. I'm heading to Kansas City tonight. We're going to be hanging out with Nick and Dan, so expect some more content there. Not sure if I'll have a video tomorrow, hopefully previewing Newcastle. But if not, we'll see you back on Monday. I hope you enjoyed it, Chelsea fans. Again, don't let it ruin your day. There's a long season ahead. Trust in Potter. We got time. Take care.